What's up, y'all? Welcome to this reveal episode of Divebots. Thanks for checking it out. I'm super pumped because we finally get to reveal what this object is that we pulled out of Crystal Lake 2 months ago. We've been working on slowly cleaning it. We've been peeling away the layers and trying to preserve it. And I think we finally have a handle on what this object is, and it's pretty cool. So we're going to open it up and we'll check it out. Just got clean, fresh water and a little bit of gentle dish soap in here. And we take a brush and we just kind of clean the object every once in a while. We try to be gentle because we don't want to damage it. It is metal, but we don't want to scratch it or damage any of the original parts of this object. And you can kind of see, actually here, a piece just fell off. So we get this kind of, well, crud, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it encapsulates this metal object. It's been down there for almost 100 years probably, and this is probably like a 1/4 inch thick or so. And what's really cool, I'll give you a close-up. This is the one that just came off of it, and I got some more of them here, is actually, you can see, as we peeled these off, there's an impression on here because we found letters on this metal object, and these layers peeled off so cleanly they left an impression. So that's pretty cool, and those letters were a key to figuring out what this object actually is. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the tank here and show you what we've got. It's pretty heavy. There it is. Let me get something to set it on real quick. This was found actually only in about 13 feet of water, maybe 15. It was really hard to spot at first because it was kind of buried in the sand, but it looked a little bit not like a natural shape. So we went in for a closer look, and sure enough, we could tell it was a little bit of a wheel once we cleared some of the sand off. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, it's kind of like a wheel, right? It's heavy. It weighs about 35 pounds, and it's about 17 inches in diameter. So it's obviously missing a good chunk of it. We're missing part of the arch of the wheel here and a spoke here. So it probably would have weighed close to 50 pounds altogether. So, but what is it? When you look at it from the side, it actually has one flange here, not two though, just one. And I'm sure you've all heard stories about like the train car in Crystal Lake, and so I was like, oh man, that looks an awful lot like a train wheel, right? Like maybe some sort of narrow gauge train wheel or something. It's not, sorry. That would have been super awesome, but it's not a train wheel. It actually is from, you can check this out. There's letters on here, and I'm gonna give you a close-up. Let me dry it off a little. And I'm thinking my wife is not gonna be happy that I chose to use a white towel for this. You can get a good look at these letters. So we have K, I, and then a space, and then C-O. And over here we have a little bit of a number 2 after another space. So hopefully you can see those. Try to give you a different angle. If you're familiar with the history of Crystal Lake, you know that the ice harvesting industry was huge on Crystal Lake from about 1870 to 1920. And the biggest of the big ice harvesting companies was the Knickerbocker Ice Company. That is what this is from, but what is it? Well, it's called a knuckle wheel. A knuckle wheel has to do with the conveyor system and elevator system that they would use to haul these massive 200-pound blocks of ice out of the lake. So they would have these huge 3 or 4 story ice houses on South Shore Drive there, and then out extending into the lake they would have this conveyor system. It was kind of like an elevator ramp, and at the bottom of the ramp you would have had this knuckle wheel, and then extending out into a canal was the rest of the conveyor system. So they had belts and chains that would drive this system and pull these ice blocks along the ramp out of the lake. So it would be horizontal along the canal, and then those belts or chains would go under the knuckle wheel and then hit the ramp and start their incline. So the purpose of the knuckle wheel was to hold that chain or belt down at the intersection between the horizontal and the incline. We're hoping that we can find the other part of this. So I don't know if they threw this out there because it was broken and they just kind of left it out on the ice like garbage and then it sank, or if maybe it sank and then a boat anchor hit it and broke this, or what happened exactly. We're going to attach the metal detector to the drone, take it back out to where we found this, see if we can kind of find the missing piece. This thing was a battle to get up there because it's super heavy, and we tried to grab it with the claw of the drone at first. We got it all the way up to the boat and the claw just wasn't strong enough, so we lost it right by the boat, fell back down to the bottom. Once we couldn't get it with the claw, we had to go to the grappling hook. The battery was getting low on the drone. We got that grappling hook rope tangled in one of our motors. We're going to be switching to a thicker rope so that won't happen again. And it was hard to get the grappling hook in here because these spaces between the spokes are really small, so the grappling hook didn't really want to fit in there. We barely got it up into the boat right as the drone was running out of batteries. It's pretty awesome to see. We are going to try to get this a little bit cleaner, hopefully be able to preserve it a little bit, and then we're going to try to get it over to maybe like one of the local historic societies so they can hopefully display it for our local community, because there's a lot to learn from this. It's really cool to see. It's definitely original to the Knickerbocker Ice Company, which is pretty awesome. Hopefully we can find the other part. It would be really cool to be able to piece this back together. We'll see if we can. Definitely tune back into Divebots because we have a 4th of July episode coming up. They're going to be putting the barge out there for the fireworks on the lake. Last year, part of it blew up with the fireworks. They had a big explosion. They think some of the fireworks mortars fell into the lake. They were never recovered. Once they put the barge out there, we're going to know where we need to look. We're going to take the Divebot, see if we can find them. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. More finds, more fish, more awesomeness. So definitely like and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you out there.